All right, sports director Kurt Schroeder joins us now with a look at sports. Kurt, let's talk the Wolfpack. They finally got someone out of the portal, and they need it because they have a lot of holes to fill.
They do, yeah, and some athleticism as well. Elijah Price out of Fresno State, a guy about 10 points per game, 8 rebounds per game. So rebounding, they got killed on the glass in a lot of games last year. 10 points, you'll take that from a guy who was just a freshman last season. And then, like we talked about the athleticism as well. There were a lot of times where the ball really just stuck and they didn't run the floor particularly well. This should help that cause.
Yeah, and it's been a while since Nevada has had a guy that averages at least 8 rebounds a game. I want to say it's been 5 or 6 years.
Jordan Caroline.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first year here. So, yeah, we're talking almost 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's a good get for the Pack. He's got some length and, you know, he's got some shooting ability, too. He's athletic. He's not a banger, but he can do a lot of things.
40% from the floor as a shooter. It's not terrible, but not an outside shooter. So that is definitely something that Coach Alford is going to have to address. The outside shooting, the consistent ability to put the ball in the basket.
All right, we have video here of another guy who just made a visit over the weekend. I believe he was here yesterday. Tayshawn Comer from Evansville, 6'1" guard. He averaged 16 points per game last season. Second team All-Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, good thing about him is he hits his free throws because that was another issue for Nevada last season. 79% as a free throw shooter. Last season for Evansville, 16 points per game, so there's the scoring ability, but you have to look at the efficiency, Josh. Got to get better efficiency-wise. I think he was around 38, 39% from the field as a shooter, 30% from 3. So still, you're going to have to need efficient scoring, efficient outside shooting. I don't know if this guy fits that need, if he does wind up committing to Nevada. But at this point, you need bodies, you need experience.
Yeah, you need scores.
Yeah, he can score the ball, and I don't think anyone on Coach Alford's staff is going to be upset that this guy makes his free throws because that was really the issue for the team last season.
Boy, Kurt, I mean, there's a lot of holes to fill for the Pack. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm thinking they got to fill like, what, 7 scholarships maybe?
There were 6 seniors and then 2 people in the portal. Nick Davidson is gone.
And they just got somebody.
Right, exactly.
They just got Price.
Yeah, so there's the math there, 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's journalism guy was able to get out that quick.
Right top of your head, yeah.
You're welcome.
There you go, Josh.
Speaking of Nick Davidson, we have video of him. He just committed to Clemson. I think the Tigers were a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament, lost to the first round to McNeese. But, you know, you got to feel good for Nick. I think he wants to go into law school. They have a better feeder program there than they do here at Nevada. And he spent 4 years here. Yeah,
got his degree here, and I don't think anyone's going to really throw shade Nick's way for doing 4 years at Nevada, getting his degree, especially in this day and age where you got a lot of guys that are looking at their 4th, even 5th school, Josh. You got 25-year-olds still playing college basketball because of all this craziness in the transfer portal and NIL. So I imagine that Clemson has deeper pockets than Nevada, so, you know, he's probably going to get a lot more money to go over there, too, and then play some ACC ball, which, for the most part, has been a pretty good conference other than this past season, really.
Yeah, he definitely put in his time here. We do want to give a little shout-out to his family. His dad passed away.
Bad news.
I believe it happened on Friday from a heart attack. Former Reed High School athlete, a former Wolfpack basketball player.
Right.
Certainly, your heart goes out to the whole Davidson family. They, by all accounts, just good people. So
yeah, for sure.
Tough to hear. All right, let's go on to the NCAA championship game. We have Florida against Houston. Like everyone drew it up, right?
Well,
most people expected it was going to be Auburn against Duke. We get Florida against Houston. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, Auburn was the #1 overall seed. I think Duke was the one that most people had picked in their brackets. I think it was about 25-26% across all ESPN bracketology brackets in that little tournament field. But Houston and Florida is probably the most complete team in the tournament. Clayton has been unbelievable. He's probably the best player in the country at this point. But Houston, they are just dogs. They rebound, they defend, they shoot the 3, they hit their free throws. They're maybe not the most exciting brand of basketball, but they grind you out. And one stat that has really stood out to me about Houston, only 1 loss in regulation this season. Their other 3 losses in overtime. They did lose to San Diego State, so there's the Mountain West connection there in overtime at the beginning of the season. But it's going to be a grinded out game. It should be a really, really close one because Houston does not play in blowouts, whether it's, you know, in their favor or against them.
Florida, when I've seen them play, man, they shoot the lights out. It's like they never miss, especially down the stretch. They're 4th in scoring, 5th in rebounds. They average nearly 10 threes a game. Here's what I didn't know. Houston leads the country in 3-point percentage. 40%. Yeah. You match that with playing defense, you can beat anybody.
Yeah, Cryer has been unbelievable. Their shooting guard there. And then Emmanuel Sharp has some really big three-pointers in this tournament. When Tennessee was pressing and he stepped out to that kind of 30-foot range and he was knocking them down from the wing. And then there is a Las Vegas connection. Their point guard, Milos Uzan, he was a 44% three-point shooter this season for them at a Desert Pines high school. So they got a lot of good shooters, a lot of good defenders. And you even mentioned when we were off air here, Josh, the ability, or I should say inability, for Duke to even inbound the basketball against Houston when they really needed it. So that defense is really, really good, Josh.
Who do you like tonight?
Houston. I have him in my bracket. I might be the only one. I think Florida's kind of that popular pick there, but we'll see. The issue with Houston in years past has just been the fact that they haven't been able to show up in the big games, and they got a really bad injury last season in the Sweet 16 against Duke. So we'll see. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, if Florida won. But I really like Houston, and then I also have to say this: Kelvin Sampson used to coach at Washington State.
So. And Kelvin Sampson, so cool to see him still doing it at what, 69?
Yeah. Would be the oldest head coach to win an NCAA tournament in the men's division if he pulls it off tonight.
Well, I got no dog in the fight, so I'm pulling for Houston as well.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Kurt. We'll be right back.